Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm gonna be making lasagna. And the funny thing is, I haven't really had lasagna since I went vegan. I think maybe once at the Sun Organic Cafe, and that was so long ago, and it wasn't like the one I'm used to. But I actually found the video by Simnett Nutrition, and he recently made that lasagna, and it looked really good. So we're actually gonna be making that recipe, but we're gonna add a few things for ourselves because why not? So let me just introduce you to what we're gonna be cooking with. Here we got our onion, obviously, a red bell pepper, zucchini, some people call it a courgette, I think. I don't know why. And then the star of the show is actually this lentil, how would I describe it? What, lentil pasta sheet, right? Yeah, lentil pasta sheet. So it has a little extra protein. And I think it's actually the same one that Simnett uses, so kind of lucky we found it. Kale, of course, because you gotta have greens. Diced tomato, this one specifically is fire roasted, and I think we got the chili one. No, we got the no salt added. And then we got mushrooms, sort of a meat replacement, but in fact, we actually also got this like no beef crumble from Costco that we were gonna try out. Probably not gonna use the whole box because there's a lot, but definitely that's gonna be a part of that ground beef. Some Italian seasoning because we need that for this. It's Italian after all. Garlic powder. Besides the garlic fresh, you know, we gotta have it powdered. I don't know if I mentioned the black pepper. And tofu, this is actually gonna become the ricotta, and you're gonna see how that comes out shortly, but we have it here. And then last but not least, well, this is not nuts, but it's actually nutritional yeast. So if you're not familiar with nutritional yeast, it's just basically cheesy powdered dust. I don't know how else to describe it, but it's amazing. And I think that's pretty much everyone. So we're gonna actually just start preparing everything. And to start with this, we're gonna preheat the oven to 375. So we'll catch you in a bit. Oh, and actually, we forgot one guy. I don't know how we did this, but the marinara sauce, because this diced tomatoes is not gonna be enough to make the pasta sauce. So we're gonna use this. So just don't forget that when you make it yourself. Okay, so now we're back, and now that everything's ready, we're just gonna throw things in the pan. So let's get to it. Okay, with the pan as hot as possible, you're gonna add the onion. Then we got garlic, always the kings. I don't even measure this, I just eyeball how much I like. I would honestly put more. Are you down, Ganzi?
Yep.
Okay, let's put more. Oh, well, whatever. The more garlic, the better. And then the onions as well. Or not the onions, but the mushrooms. Whoops. Everything's an onion to me right now, I guess.
A few minutes later.
And if you guys could smell this.
They don't know. They don't even know. So here we go. Next up is the red bell pepper. Whoops. And the zucchini, which I'm getting right now. There you go. These don't take that long, but look at that. That color. The other beautiful thing about cooking vegan is the colors. Right?
Yeah.
I love it.
Now the $1 million question, are we gonna add vegan cheese?
I know, right? That's the big question. What's gonna be
the answer is nah.
This one's a pretty whole food recipe. That's why I like Simnett, you know me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Try to stay as whole food, yeah, as whole food as you can.
Especially if you're trying to lose weight or, you know, reverse disease.
Yep.
Honestly, for most people, you don't need this. And if you have like an eating disorder, I definitely don't think you need to worry about shit like this. I wouldn't even worry about oil if you have like an eating disorder. Like, that's where things kind of get restrictive. But if you care about your health or you're trying to maximize your health, I definitely encourage it.
But Bruno, the fake meat that you bought is not whole food.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, we are kind of making this a treat though. But everything else, I guess, has been pretty whole food about this one, huh? You can make it as whole food or not as whole food as you like, I guess.
Yep. That
is basically the point. That's the bottom line.
Exactly.
Oh man, I'm getting excited.
I'm really excited.
I'm just so easily excited by food. It's hilarious. So now that everything's softened up and you know, getting there, it's pretty much cooked, honestly. We're gonna add the rest of our ingredients for the sauce, which is the marinara here, diced tomato, and some kale. So here we go. And actually, I'm gonna drop the heat
Not from Kirkland. Not from Costco.
No, yeah, not from Costco. Never got that. I don't even know what that
This video is not advertised.
Yeah, it's not sponsored.
Not sponsored by Costco.
Some of that roasted diced tomato. Yep. Might even rinse those and get that juice. And then what was I adding? Oh yeah.
That is actually a lot of kale, sir.
I mean, this is for the whole pasta, so you know what I mean? Like, this is actually going to be spread out amongst a good amount of people. And you're right, it does look a lot like, it does look like a lot now, but it'll cook down. You know how the Koreans are.
Yep.
All the vegetables, because it's mostly water. Okay, and finally for the ricotta, it's just this tofu. I already patted it dry and basically squeezed out any moisture. You're gonna crumble it with your hands as best you can. I mean, I don't know, I don't really worry too much about it. It's kind of like tofu scramble. Just crumble it to get it to a little chunky texture that you enjoy. And then there's not much else to do, just add the spices. And then we're gonna mix that together. There you go. Just try to get it as even as possible. I mean, so far it looks alright. Like, I'm not too worried about it. And actually, while this last bit of kale and sauce is sauteing, we're just gonna add the meat that we got from the Costco. We're not really gonna measure. What do you think? A little more? Yeah.
A little more, yeah.
Basically, it's just the ground beef of it. I think that might be appropriate. We'll see. That's like half of it. That ended up working out. And then now, give it another stir so that everything's incorporated with the sauce. Also give us a better idea of how it's gonna look when it comes out. Looks like a good amount.
Yeah.
Once again, just let this cook for a little longer because we're gonna let that meat heat up. So then, just layer one of this on the bottom. Whoops. Just let it smack on the pan like that. Trying to spread it out so I can see. Will this be 3 layers? This is gonna be thick, man.
That's perfect.
Yeah, that's not it. In case you've never layered lasagna before, that's how you do it. Theirs fit about 3. Should we do more? Let's do 4.
Yeah, 4. Why not?
And then that means there would be 3 layers because there's 12. And then after that, actually after the first layer, you just add the cheese first. Spread out my hand. Hand clean. And then once again, the pasta sauce, the marinara, the filling. And then we add the sheet on top, and then we continue until we finish to the end. Okay, on the top, we just finished off with the rest of the tofu ricotta, and then a bunch of nooch, as you can tell. And now we're finally ready to just pop this baby in the oven and walk away. So here we go. Yep, middle rack. Well, like middle high on ours, but that's it. And then now we just wait 45 minutes. We'll see you then. And so without further ado, I'm gonna serve these up and we're gonna have them. Let's do it. So honest reaction, yeah? Was that 3rd bite in?
Yeah, very good.
Very good?
Really good.
Let's see. I think it's gonna, it looks amazing, man. I'm not gonna lie, I'm ready. Okay, so how does this lasagna fare to just a regular beef lasagna that you might find at the store? So we actually calculated everything, and just to set something straight, their lasagna actually is a little smaller than ours, so we're gonna just go by the packaging of that and compare it directly to ours. Our calories were 3,283 and theirs was 3,146. For protein, our lasagna actually had 190. The Kirkland Signature lasagna had 178, so we actually beat it in the protein department. For the carbs, we were at 267 grams. For the other lasagna, it was 185.9, so 186. So way more carbs, but that's to be expected since we're just eating plant-based, it's all good. And then last but not least, for the fat content, our lasagna came in at 133.8 grams. And for the Kirkland Signature lasagna, we were at 178.8 grams. So almost 45 more grams of fat in theirs. To put this into perspective, the faux meat that we used ended up adding about 1,080 calories to this lasagna. In all actuality, our lasagna for the whole tray would roughly be closer to 2,000 calories. So I just wanted to mention that just so you guys had a head-to-head comparison between what we had and what you might find normally at the store.
How many calories is the breakdown for how much we ate? So as you guys can clearly see, we ate a lot of the lasagna.
Yeah, so we calculated that if we broke this up into eights, we had about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eighths. And when we calculate that, let me see, 5 eighths would be 0.625. So 60% of the lasagna would come out to about 2,052 calories, but it was between us two, so for each of our servings we got roughly 1,026 calories worth of food. It's kind of impressive how much we actually ate, and you're not gonna eat as much as us, especially because we just came back from the gym. This is like actually our lunch and dinner kind of combined together. But yeah, just another food for thought. I just thought it was a funny point. That's actually a very good point. But I will say there's a few things we could have done a little better on. First off, the lasagna sheet on the top, we didn't have enough moisture from the marinara sauce. So as you can tell, it like kind of burns and has like a weird like crispy texture to it. But all the other noodles cooked really well inside. So definitely, I think the issue we ran into was the beef crumble that we used. I think it absorbed a lot of the marinara sauce. And so definitely just make sure that when you add that last sheet, there's enough moisture from the either previous sauce or you just add some more on top. But it's okay. Other than that, like flavor department and everything else, perfect. Maybe we could do more ricotta. Like I think maybe next time we could definitely try that. But there's no complaints, man. Like I said, you can just tell by the way we devoured the dish, just two people. Yeah, this was amazing. I mean, if you guys try it, let me know what you think. It's not my recipe once again. Shout outs to the God. Respects to my Lord and Savior, Simnett Nutrition. Really good, wholesome recipe, and yeah, don't be afraid of garlic. That's the last thing I'll say, because I don't know why he didn't put garlic.
Seriously.
But thanks you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Later. Down. When do you think Len's gonna come back?
I don't know. No clue.
I'm gonna send this to him, and he's gonna realize that he's missing out. Always thinking about that fool.
Yeah, I'm so sad.